This is Remco Evenepoel, and despite being just 24 years old, he is already one of the best cyclists in the world. He's won the Vuelta a España, he's won the World Championships. This year he finished third at the Tour de France, and then a few weeks ago he added two rather nice big shiny medals to his collection. And this is me. The last medal I won was at a fun run. But today, me and this very tight skin suit have just one aim: to try and ride as fast as Remco, to prove that at least 6% of the UK population are completely and utterly deluded. Let me explain. Pro cyclists are quick, right? They are genetic superhumans with the best bikes, the best equipment, and they've trained for the majority of their lives to do just one thing: ride a bike as quickly as possible. Now, I didn't really think that that was up for debate, and yet over the last few weeks, you might have seen this piece of research. Here in the UK, we love a bit of a poll, and after the Olympics, YouGov published this. Of the general public that they surveyed, 6% of Brits reckon that if they started now, they could qualify for the 2028 Olympic Games road race. And to be honest, this has me completely and utterly baffled. Take this year's Olympic road race, for example. There were 4 Team GB riders selected, and when Tom Pidcock doesn't crack the top 10, you just kind of know that it's not your average Sunday club run. For starters, the route was a whopping 273 kilometres long, and it's not like it was flat either, with 2,800 metres of elevation. And yet, after 235k, about the same length as my longest ever ride, Remco decided that he fancied attacking and proceeded to ride the remnants of the brake off of his wheel and then solo to the finish. Thanks to his Strava data, we can actually see how fast he was riding. So if I zoom in on this bit here, this is where he attacked, about 39k from the finish. And then, without the help of a peloton, he averaged 47.7 kph. For anyone who would rather that in miles an hour, that works out at just a smidge under 30. And that leads us to this lay-by, because today I'm going to try and see how long I can ride at the speed of Remco, 47.7 kilometers an hour. I have cheated slightly though and decided not to ride the other 235k first. So the plan is, when I get to the top of this hill, I'm going to turn right, there's a nice descent, and then it's really straight and flat. So when I hit the flat bit, I'm going to hit the lap button and then see how long I can hold that magic 47.7 kph for. The problem is, the faster that you try and cycle, the more and more watts you need to overcome aerodynamics. And that's not a linear line, that's exponential. The faster you go requires more and more and more watts until, well, I don't know what happens, until you run out of watts. If I don't make it very far, then don't worry, I've got some good excuses lined up. For example, my bike is an SL7 tarmac rather than the latest SL8 that Evenepoel used. That, according to Specialized, is a massive disadvantage. So to ride at that 47.7 kph, I think I'm going to need to be holding over 400 watts. This is going to hurt. Oh my word, I've gone deep. All I can taste is my own lungs. And unfortunately I don't get to finish under the Eiffel Tower. I did a road race at the weekend and averaged 42 kph for 100k. And it was hard, but I was in a bunch and you sort of do just get dragged around. And in the peloton, well, they always say the sprint days are easy, but my God, are they quick when they put their mind to it. And it's not very often that you actually get to compare yourself to a pro. Like, they obviously take the comms, but yeah, they sit in a peloton all day. Well, someone is towing that peloton at that speed. I am a pretty keen cyclist. I train for about 12 hours a week. I race criteriums and road races, and yet despite having no corners, none of the Parisian kickers, none of the chasing attacks for 230 kilometers per hour, I could only hold the same speed for less than a quarter of the time. Evenepoel held that speed for 46 minutes, whilst having time to swap bikes and have a nice celebration over the finish line. Now, I know that even if I quit my job today and trained relentlessly for 4 years, I just really don't think I'm getting anywhere near that call up. And that brings me on to my second point that I'm annoyed about, because technically I have a bit of an unfair advantage over the majority of the UK population surveyed. I actually already ride a bike. So to really try and hammer home just how fast the pros are and put it into perspective just how deluded the UK population is, my mum has kindly volunteered herself to give the same test a go. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Nervous? How long do you reckon you can ride at 47.7 kilometres an hour?
A very short time.
Yeah? Well, you got a nice descent to help get you up to speed.
That is the only chance I have.
Shall we see how you get on?
Okay.
Let's go and do it.
I want a less flappy shirt.
More aero.
You don't notice until you try and do something to do with speed how much little things matter.
Yeah, the faster you go, the more important aero is.
So yeah, faster shirt, fixed it all.
So, in conclusion, we found what most of us knew already. The pros are ridiculously, superhumanly, eye-wateringly fast. And rather than let that depress us, that we will probably never be that fast, let's just put some respect on the riders who do qualify. Just getting to a race like the Olympics is a huge achievement, and most of the riders there have spent their entire lives dedicated to training for that moment. That's not something that 6% of the population can fast track in the next 4 years. So there's just one thing left to do. Let me know how long you think you could ride as fast as Evenepoel in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this content, then please give it a like, subscribe to the channel for lots more bike stuff, and we'll see you next time.